our sense of touch, temperature, and pain. Also known as the somatosensory system. Somato meaning body, so it is our body's sensory system. Our sense of touch is the first to develop and most often the last to fade. Touch allows us to determine the features of an object, such as on this t-shirt. In touching this t-shirt, we would know how soft or rough it is, or how wet or dry. Without our sense of touch, the only feelings we have are emotional. We have 3 different types of receptors that allow us to physically feel: mechanoreceptors, thermoreceptors, and nociceptors, more easily known as touch, temperature, and pain receptors. Mechanoreceptors allow us a sense of touch. Through these receptors, we feel pressure, vibrations, and texture on the surface of the skin. The information these receptors receive is immediately sent and processed in the brain. The most sensitive of these is found in our lips, palms, eyelids, face, and soles of our feet. These receptors differ in size and in speed. Size relates to the area affected, and speed relates to how quickly the receptors react to the stimuli. Simple perception of texture, for example feeling a cat's fur, the slower adapting cells respond. The quickly adapting receptors respond when we adjust grip or force, for example in holding a pencil or a broom. Thermoreceptors allow us a sense of temperature of objects, like picking up a hot pizza or an ice-cold drink. These receptors are found most in our ears and our nose, which explains why those body parts both feel colder more quickly than others. Receptors for cold temperature are larger in density. They are somewhat stimulated at 95 degrees Fahrenheit, very stimulated at 77 degrees Fahrenheit, and we lose feeling below 45 degrees. Receptors for warm temperature are somewhat stimulated at 86 degrees, most stimulated at 113, and anything above that causes the pain receptors to kick in. These receptors only feel a general change in temperature of the skin. They cannot perfectly measure a temperature like a thermometer can. There are 3 million pain receptors found throughout our body, in our skin, muscles, bones, blood vessels, and some organs. These receptors are called nociceptors. They encourage you to move away from the source causing pain or to rest and not use a limb. They simply detect pain from a cut, scrape, burn. They respond to anything that can possibly cause us harm. The amount affected relates to the amount of tissue. A lot of pain means a lot of tissue is affected, but a little pain would mean a small amount of tissue is affected. Nociceptors keep our bodies safe like a seatbelt or helmet. Overall, our somatosensory system is a network of nerves and touch receptors that detect touch, temperature, and pain through mechanoreceptors, thermoreceptors, and nociceptors. They are responsible for all sensations of hot, cold, smooth, rough, pressure, itch, or simple touch.
created using Powtoon.